Okay, are we on? Yeah, looks like we're on. Denizens of the grid, welcome back to another round of Android Netrunner. Um, I'm just looking to see if I can't get a nice vid recorded, preferably against a non-criminal, but I'll take whatever comes. With my SportsCORE deck. I should stop calling it Sportsmetal FA. It's clearly not an FA deck. SportsCORE. So, I've been making multiple edits and versions, and the most recent big thing I realized was the original version was focusing much more intensely on, tricks and traps and dealing the core damage, etc. And the newer version, oh sorry, and the harmonic ice suite. And the newer version is like, why do I even need harmonic ice? I need taxing ice. That's what Bloop is for. But if this is just a huge package to support Bloop, and my biggest issue is that I can't get moderately taxing ice going, then maybe it's not as important. So I'm going a different direction and making it less harmonic in this split. Giordano Memorial Field is amazing. You need them to steal two agendas for it to be roughly Managarm level. Managarm gives them the flexibility to double click through it. Giordano doesn't. You pay or it fails. It stacks with Managarm perfectly and does not eat up the Arella or Djupstad slot as a read. It's not a regent, so it doesn't eat up the Djupstad slot. And it gives me another thing to bluff. I can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upgrades into a remote, right? Or like 4 upgrades and an NGO front or a Nightmare Archives or any of my agendas. So there are 31 cards in my deck that can go into a remote, and of them, these 7 can go in on top of each other pretty much. Even I can double Djupstad, I can double Arella, and just not tell them I'm doing it. If they pay to trash this stuff, it's 10, 18, 21, 31. It's game restricting levels. I have a singleton restore to get back the one that most matters when it counts. The problem is this: you're never really rich with this deck. It's been my feeling. The Asa money gets you to tread water very nicely up until you get your first stock buyback going. Your first stock buyback is a huge upswing on your value, but typically when you play it, they have 3 points and 3 agendas, and you're getting 8 credits at most, which is basically one big shot in the arm, and that's all. The second one is where you get ahead. And if they've put a couple nightmares, even one nightmare in, they might go up to 4 or 5 cards, and that's where the stock buyback gets nutty. That's where the Giordano tax becomes oppressive. 10 credits plus the 3 because there's no way you go in and don't trash it is 13. That's phenomenal. Now you might be thinking, why not Pinhole Archives it? And that's possible. Uh, but one, I've noticed there's a lot less pinholes running around lately than there may have been initially, just because corps are leaning away from pinholeable problems. Second, and perhaps more importantly, you can't trash my Arella or Djupstad cheaply. If you're wasting a card, a run, and 6, 7 credits, all to not get a point, I'm okay with that. I think that's really the point. I slow down the game by a combination of my trap, as well, which is the Nightmare Archives, and the fact that all my agendas lean into that 3-1 territory. So it is very hard for you to win stealing less than 4 agendas. You're going to be stealing, unless you hit all my ontologics. Let's say you hit 2 of my 1, 2, 3, 4 2-pointers and 3 of the other ones. That's 5 points. If you also hit a Nightmare Archives, then you're going up to 6 that you have to steal. And that's the best case. More typically, you're going to take more 1 pointers, or you're going to worry that you're going to take more 1 pointers and play it slower. If in that time I can chain 2 core damage to start restricting you, I can flip all of those those 2 3 advancers out of hand. Core damage is also not irrelevant. If it deals damage, and I've actually won a game outright recently, where against against 60 card Woo actually, where basically all I did was knock out their decoder with core damage and push them too fast on burning through symbol chips that they didn't actually get the chance to restore their decoder. Looks like there are people who are coming but are appropriately choosing not to come into the recording lobby. That's fine. If you don't want to be recorded, you shouldn't go to a lobby that says record. But I think I'm gonna pause the recording at this point till we get a hit. So, yeah, let's just do that. Okay, and we're off to the races. I haven't fought a lot in a long time. Eh, I know the feeling. Um, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Shaper has some of the best anti-core damage tools, or anti-hand size tools. This deck has all the tech, but none of the ice. So I think I have to mullet. Mullet? Mullet? Mullet. Mulligan it. Um, this is perfect. Money, ice, and NGO front for a bluff. I can totally work with this opener. Now, I can assume that he won't run first click because this particular runner tends to like to set up. This is what I want on my... I'm still learning this deck that I've made, so sorry for some longer turns thinking. LOL. Okay, there, that's out of the way. I do now have a 2 point. This is one of the worst agendas to see early, and I have it, so that sucks. We'll definitely take money this turn no matter what. We're going to secure centrals instead of prepping a remote. I think Drafter makes the most sense on centrals. On Cell makes the most sense. This could actually go on my remote just as easily. Cannot steal or trash is effectively end the run. They can get in every time for all I care if they can't steal or trash. But it's click-throughable, so it's very porous when it needs to not be. I think hard end the run on the remote probably makes the most sense. So let's go on Cell to guard R&D, Drafter to guard HQ, Hagen for the remote, something like that. R&D, HQ, and we'll Hagen eventually. We want our first two agendas stolen. Like, pretty much, we need that to power up a lot of our shenanigans, is two agendas stolen. But we don't need to rush to do it. They'll do it for us. Especially now that we have 9 credits to start, so that's fantastic. Up, he's feeding right into us. We definitely want a res drafter, so yes, please. And we'll fire the unbroken subs. We'll get back a hedge fund, thank you very much. And we will pre-install our next ice, or put our agenda out, or NGO front. Kind of think NGO front. Let's put out the NGO front. No, let's put out the ice. This is the one that if he trashes, I lose something for it. So yeah, we'll put out the NGO front. That's fine. And let him go and check it if he wants to. That's fine too. And I did not get lucky. He stole the one agenda. That's fine. We'll just draw cards. Do we take money or cards here? We have a second hedge fund, so we'll take cards, definitely. It's a shame that that couldn't have been a Nightmare Archives. That would have been the thing to put out. But he has successfully managed to really hurt my early game. I think we go money, ice on remote, and Nightmare Archives? No, we go money, Arella, and Nightmare Archives. He definitely runs it. Like, there's no way he doesn't run that, just given his pattern of running. And that would be kind of perfect for baiting him out. If he wants to spend money to trash Arella this early, it's completely fine with me. And there's no way that he doesn't take a -1 instead of taking a core when he knows what I'm all about. So perfect. We're exactly where we need to be. He definitely trashes it, goes to 7, and we're in great shape. He's poor, and we have ice and money. I mean, not poor, but considering that he's burned through 8 credits of free money, yeah, relatively poor. Oh, we got the perfect money agenda. Let's put a hard ETR that's cheap. Draw, install probably is good. Or install, advanced install. Draw, install. Oh, and we got the bloop that we need. Now which order do I want this in? I want this in pulse before bloop or bloop before pulse. Bloop before pulse, definitely. He probably runs willy-nilly and loses a click, ends the run, and gives me a credit back. Like, that's his pattern so far. Then I advance 3, get my money, get a profit, possibly get a card. We're on the board. We have survived the hardest phase of the game. Oh man, we have a read on this guy. Fire unbroken subs, presumably. I mean, he can't possibly do anything about it. Let him read everything before, then boom, done. And the run, unless the runner spends a click. I didn't realize it's that porous, so pulse is much worse than I thought it was. Alright, I need to remember that from now on. Hyperloop money, and money or cards? Money or cards? Cards for sure. We need to continue to push him. That's what I'm talking about. We put the jupe On server 3, we put the bloop on the jupe, but we're not ready to res bloop yet, actually. Because he doesn't have anything worth... Well, I would core him with the bloop. That might be enough. We need 6 credits to Elivigao out of hand, which I can do as well. So I need more money than I have to do everything. But I want a hard reason not to just let him in that server. So yeah, so we'll put this on server 3. And then we'll draw credit or money. Credit or money, credit, or draw credit, or draw credit, or draw credit, or draw. We need 4, 3, and 9 to activate all of this, which we can do. 2 to advance this, 4 to do this, and 3 to do this. And if he runs it and trashes, then yeah, so that's fine. That's actually fine. We have enough money. So draw, take a credit, dude. Just slow down and take a credit. There's nothing I want to draw more than the Orella in this situation. If he plows into this, I'm a very happy man. I don't trash 2 programs, but I get the core I need to turn on all my ontologics. Okay, so he's building a big rig eventually. But it's time to start showing him why proactive running is going to be required of him. Can he get in here and trash this now? 3, 6, 3, 7, 9. Nope, he can't. Perfect. So server 3, advance, advance, res, score, take your core, buddy. Djupstad, Elivigao with no target, please, and I'll take the cash more than the credits for sure here, because I need to be able to float more dangerousness. I'm going to throw in the second Djupstad eventually, but I really want to get Managarm going or something. Test right out the code. Please let it be a code gate breaker. Please let it be a code gate breaker. It's the ultimate killer. Okay. When it fully breaks, add a power counter to something. 2 credits break any number of sentry subs. Okay, so it's 2 credits to get in. So he's not getting a lot of value off this yet. But he is paying money. So he has correctly surmised that I probably have more in HQ than I'm showing. I don't have more in HQ than I'm showing, but that was a correct supposition given the position of our board. Where are we going to go from here? We got the first core, which is good. We have the resed prepped Djupstad, which is good. We are missing a defensive upgrade for this server. We have the bloop powered up, which is good. So we're not in great shape, but we're not in bad shape. We are applying the correct amount of tax for HQ runs, and he is not hitting a lot of stuff that he needs. And he didn't have a means of making Orca permanent. That's very interesting. Draw. Next Elivigao is ready. Draw. I think we spin doctor on server 3 because it might beta run, and then we'll know more about his logic. And if it doesn't beta run, it's an active draw to potentially make HQ runs less likely to hit the Elivigao. I want the Elivigao to fire again. Ooh, okay, so he's going to pitch the Orca he just drew for 10 credits, potentially, to get a free endurance. That's smart. Now he can get in here for nearly free, if he wants to avoid getting blooped. Let me think. If I res this, he only has to break do 1 core damage. And I lose all my money. If I don't res this, he's still going through this, and then trashing my whole server, and I lose my Djupstad. But I just put the next Djupstad down. It's a good plan. It's important to think this through, though. Playing against the boat is always hard. I feel like what I need to do is bite the bullet, double res this server so that he can't get in here with just the boat. but the time doesn't feel right because I don't have the money yet. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. He can get in. He can get in. Because he's not gonna spend 4 counters here. He needs to have one program. So what's he doing? He is going to break it, of course. I am going to res this and continue to movement and no further actions. And he's going to pay through the nose to go down to 2 credits and trash the Djupstad, as well he should. He didn't trash the Spin Doctor. Now that's very interesting. We're going to shuffle in money for sure. Let's drop a new Djupstad on the remote. And then we have to decide, is he the kind of guy who will run in or isn't he? I think he is the kind of guy who will run in. But he's going to run HQ as well. Oh, he can't get in through HQ without putting the Orca down, so we're actually okay. Uh, uh, how well do I have him read? Would he put a second Nightmare or no? I don't feel confident that he's going to double Nightmare. Let's put this in server 3. If he steals it, I get money. If he doesn't steal it, I score it. This is a heads I win, tails you lose scenario. Because what happens now, I should Nightmare Archives the archives. No, keep it in my hand till he steals it. That's probably the right play. And we'll lose the double drafter. One drafter is sufficient. So here's the deal. If he comes through the server, he can't trash the second Djupstad. He can steal the false lead, which just gives me money, and then I can Elivagao. Could have Nightmare Archives the archives. Okay, no matter. He can't possibly have been expecting this already. Score, Sportsmetal, gain 2 credits, end turn, and now he is double cord. Discard a card, it doesn't matter which one. Next turn, do we forfeit this to score this out? Yes, definitely. And we'll pitch more ice, I guess. We're so poor that we're never scoring. We're never resing this, so let's just discard it. I want him to steal at least one agenda from my hand, so let me score this out next turn. It's a 2 advance to score it out. 2 advance 2-pointer is good enough. Man, every time he does that, I think how I should have gone in and Nightmare Archived it. Well, dummy, then just do that. Yeah, no, that's fine. You can totally steal an agenda. I really need the money. Hey, thank you. Oh, it's a mega free, even better. I'll definitely take the money now. Why don't you just steal a couple more until you get me to the transaction I need, please? This deck is odd, fun, and nasty. Just imagine it with Aurela Salvatore still there. Oh my god. Okay, now I'm gonna look like I'm cheating. If I install Aurela, install an advance, I can't chain it. There's just no way. I can be greedy and play this one so that this is a 1 advance. But all it takes is him running HQ rip and then I lose. So that's a bad play. Get the most valuable card out of your hand, bro. Don't overthink this. I'll take the money and you'll take the core. Hand size 2. Uh, it's so weird to watch a Diesel result in him not having a full hand. Now he can run here and get rid of the Djupstad. He probably should, honestly. He already knows I won't res this server against him. Yeah. Is it worth it? No, he has enough boats. He can get in. I can take his boat to 0, but he's gonna go back up to money after this is done. I think he just gets it. I think he just gets it. Besides, the goal of this deck isn't to win by core damaging your opponent to death. The goal of this deck is to do enough core damage to turn on your fast advance, which I've done, and to set up a secure server to do that from, which I've done. He now has a Omni Breaking Code Gate Breaker, but I've got Nastiness. I still don't have my Managarm, which I really need now, or my Giordano, which I need now. I'm gonna put Heads I Win, Tails You Lose in the remote. Yeah, definitely. Do we just credit money? I don't need that much money, actually. So yeah, Heads I Win, Tails You Lose, and Arella. I mean, I'll take money if I get it, so that I can res all this stuff, but it's not important. It's just there. Oh, please let me have it. I can't trigger the Arella, I'm too poor. So he specifically is making a. Oh, he unluckily got a cheap credit boost, not a heavy one. Oh, if you steal an agenda, I'm in the money. Please steal an agenda and let me be in the money. Ah, okay, that's fine. So now he's in the money. Hey, it's a Managarm. So we go 1 credit 1. And now we are threatening to actually play the game. Like, well. Let's see what he's gonna do next. Rigging up, eh? Oh, he's concertoing off of a free. This is unfortunate for you. So, I'm debating the relative merits of resing this. He has to break it, but I don't actually mind him stealing one more agenda. He's not going to trash my Giordano. The only thing that he'll trash that I care about is Giordano, and I already got the Managarm. The 0 credit concerto. Yeah, oh well. I'm not that rude. Alright. So here it looks like we're going to get it off. So here it looks like we're going to get this off. He's going to come in here and dismantle the server, but he's going to have to pay 2 clicks, 5 credits, and change. That's a good deal. Especially... Which one is Managarm? I don't want to res Managarm. Res. Don't res. Advance. 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 Score. Hyperloop extension. More money, please. Do I think he's going in this turn? Yes or no? 5 boat counters and a code gate breaker? He's definitely going in. Which means this is the turn to bait him with this. So why am I hesitating? Just do it. Like, absolutely the turn he goes in. There's just no question. And now he has to, because this could be the game winner. If he doesn't. But he's test running an Orca. Okay, so yeah, if he runs now, he can still get in through the Managarm. And the double clicks. Okay, that was unexpected. Now he can ultra charge the boat for a little while. Uh-huh. No further actions. He got the one that I've been saving. That's unfortunate. Oh, I got the money card. That's what I needed. Okay, think carefully. Do we res the bloop when he has a 5 strength killer that can break it entirely for 2 credits? Yeah, no, we don't. We pretend to think about it. Oh. I don't know why he knows it won't work, but okay. It totally would. Oh, he might be suspecting a Managarm. Which is probably valid. It's a shame. It means I could have won the game if I had been less cautious. Ah, okay. Well, now he's got a perma orca, and I've got a whole pile of useless. Not quite, but close. He knows it's a Managarm, which means he's likely to run first click, which means I need to be able to stop him from getting in, which means I need to make it still unrunnable, which I can't do. So we're going to go make it bigger. Uh, we gotta feed him a one-pointer. He's definitely going in. Well, maybe not. Maybe he incorrectly surmises that I could have won, so I would have won. All right, there we go. We'll see what that does. He's gonna lose a click on the server one way or the other. He's definitely into adapting, and we're definitely resing everything. So let's make him lose all his boat counters and take this. That's fine. He's got 2 clicks to get into the Managarm, but he can't afford it, so that's good. He's gonna blow his boat, presumably. That's oh, I forgot. Orca breaks it for 2 credits. That's fine. Do we res everything? Yeah, money isn't an issue anymore. I mean, it's really awful to be spending this much money on resing, but I don't have a choice. It's the only way I'm going to force him into a bad position. Alright, continue to approach ice. Res Pulse, and of course he knows about the Managarm, so we res that too. Continue to movement. He's got no credits, but that doesn't stop him from stealing. He'll go to 3 credits when everything's said and done. He's going to lose the clicks. That's fine. I could have forfeited this to protect this. I made a huge mistake. I should have forfeited this before he spent it. I made a huge misplay. I could have forfeited the false lead before you paid for the Managarm to protect the 2-pointer. My fault. I was planning to, I just forgot to. Oh well. Alright, whatever, it's fine. He gets it. Draw 2 cards. It's all good. It's the only way I'll learn. LOL. Yeah. I'm being overly facetious here, but it's overly kind here, but in truth, it's not a big deal. It's just that this is a game. I'm having fun, he's having fun, I'm fine with it. And equally important to the big win is the big loss. Now, it might look like, oh, what are you going to do? Re-res all the bloops every time? But kind of, yeah. 2 credits to break this, and 2 boat counters on this that he's going to get back. He can run the server for free, but once I... Ah, yes! Take your core, son. Had to happen eventually. Or go down to 4 points. You're not going to win if you keep taking negatives. Okay, so he cannot get in through the Giordano. It's actually impossible for him. So I'm not going to res anything. I'm going to let him go all the way to the end and then lose right when it's about to be successful. And he's going to come out neutral. He's going to pay the 2 credits, but he's going to come out neutral on boat counters. I can't resist being Starky. Got 14 credits. Just checking. This deck, like I said, is a joke. I love it. Score, Sportsmetal, credits, install server 3. Now I can make him skip an entire turn if it's ever relevant. It's a good plan. Let's get all of the money. It's actually quite good. And it stacks well with Managarm, with Skunk, Gunk. They both do the same job, just one is slightly better later. And since you know I'm capable of bluffing, you can never be sure I'm not just bluffing. Oh, yeah, of course. This is actually really good for him. In terms of he gains 2 boat charges for running an HQ. It's unfortunate that he had a Nightmare Archives, but other than that, to be fair, I've kept one in hand almost the entire game, but that is still unlucky. Thanks for the game. I like the OrcaBoat combo. It didn't test run rejig / EC quickly for you. It is a powerful run set, and the N'Golo backup finisher is even more solid. Question, cut concerto and go kit, or is kit rotated already? Because he had 2 concertos for influence. You can probably sacrifice those, and if you have the ability to turn anything into a code gate and then smash the code gate for 4 credits, that's kind of sick. And charge your boat while you do it, so yeah. That's minus Shezvi. 10 credit run. That makes sense. And would actually have paid for the Giordano field. GG, sir. Jank is most fun. I'm glad the Djupstad actually got to work here. Now you take core damage for nothing. It's not really good in Fool IMO, but I feel like Managarm plus Giordano in Asa, or in Sports, makes a convincingly secure server, especially when it only has to fire 1.5 times to be sufficiently good and power up your Ontos. I love that I can stick something in a remote, and it could be one of my 7 upgrade cards. Sorry, my 4 upgrades, 3 assets, or any agenda, and you both need to run it, but don't really need to run it for Also that the ice guarding S3 can be token and be good enough. I am still debating whether or not to excise the harmonics entirely, but bloop plus pulse slash echo has been a good, cheap, early, affordable, late package. At no point in this game. Or they're too poor to res ice. I don't actually want to find bloop early, because early they don't have anything worth blooping. The one core I'm gonna get either there or somewhere else. If they know I've waived it, they aren't running the bloop. That's true, but think think how long I spent not resing ice this game. You don't hit your money spike till around halfway through the deck when you find your first Wayland op. You're funded on stolen slash scored agendas, which is bizarre that you actually want some stolen. I've considered putting a pop-up on R&D just to keep my opponent running it for a little. Very necessary. And honestly, I was recording and a couple times I was begging, please steal an agenda so I can find my Wayland money, because you thinning out my deck for me when you're on less than 5 points doesn't really threaten me much. And with 1/3 of my deck agendas, you know I'm gonna find something to score at all times. You need to steal around 8. I need to score 3 to 4, depending. But botching the false lead play was sloppy. Anyway, thanks for the game. GG. If you want to see it, I may upload to YouTube. SAX. Feel free to follow slash like and subscribe. So this guy was a really good sport, and he was clearly playing a jankier deck rather than a classic amazing deck. But it's interesting to me that he got his full rig up, was running with impunity, and it still couldn't beat this, because this specifically demands obscene quantities of money swing if you haven't one locked out early. If he started R&D locking me uh with some more aggressive shaper searching and plowed through and picked up 2 more agendas, yeah, I'm not saying he could not have won this. But I think I did a decent job. He did a decent job keeping my remote in check. If he hadn't done that, I would have core damaged him to death with a Managarm. But since he kept pushing me here, I was able to push back. I don't think this deck is broken or anything. I think it's a solid tier 2 janky deck. It's fun. It's not going to beat the best decks, but it will beat the second best decks. And that's really where I want it to be. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. As always, like, subscribe. Feel free to let me know what you want to see, and yeah, always be running. Thanks. Bye.